What's going on, YouTube? We're back at it for another video, and today we've got the best stash spots for Rostok over here on the western portion of the map. Not too many spots to hit over here, but there is some really nice loot to pick up over here, especially if you're looking for a unique weapon of the LMG category. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Now, our first stash location is just going to be east of the Rostok city itself, over here along the road. Just off of it, you'll notice we've got a small little rock over here, along with what looks like a little bit of a tunnel over here on the right if you don't already have this hidden goodies stash marker right here. But not hard to miss, and once you get over here, you'll know you're at the right place if you can see this flipped over Jeep over here. Now from this point, we'll be able to head over to the right, and there'll be a little bit of a divot or a trench into the ground. And down here, we will also have a grenade trap, so we'll need to disarm that really quickly. And inside the bag, we'll end up just getting some resources, but just behind that, we'll have a full durability SVDM, so you can't go wrong with having another one of those, either for upgrading later on or just a bit more of those coupons. Our next stash location is going to be just southwest of that location, over here at Little Livka, as I do not know how to pronounce that name, but it's going to be a little neighborhood over here, and we'll be looking to get into the very back house back here. But let's head over there now. And once you've made it over to the location, you'll know you'll be at the right house, as there'll be a little bit of a, I guess, small makeshift garage on the left / shed, and it'll be a white brick house, or at least white painted brick house. Once you get in on the right side, we've got a lot of boards that we'll need to break down, so we'll just get those destroyed real quick. And then inside, we'll have a couple of resources you can pick up, but we'll be able to drop down over here with a ladder on our left, and I believe there's going to be more than a few of these mouses, so we're going to get personal with these guys. I don't like them at all. I get tired of dealing with these guys. They're just a painful experience, and sometimes you just end up wasting so much ammo, and if you just duck down and you let them jump over you, you end up you just won't be taking damage. You'll save your ammo. You'll be able to take them out pretty quickly, unless you're weighed down and then the knife's not really going to work. At that point, you're pretty much just going to have to pull out that pistol. But we'll find a couple of resources as we come down here, and there's more than likely going to be quite a few of these rats to deal with, so be prepared for that. And there's probably going to be some behind us. There's too many of these. Alright, we're basically just hitting the air right now. Alright, once you've killed all the rats, as that just took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and I didn't want to waste too much time over here. But we got plenty of resources in here as soon as we come in, and you'll notice more than a few dead bodies on the ground with a bit of resources you can grab up, as well as weaponry with a PDA that gives a bit more information on what happened down here. But over here on our right, we'll have a full durability Viper 5 with a bit of ammo, and just on the other side, we'll end up getting an artifact called the Stake. That's going to be pretty much it for this stash spot over here, with a bit more of that lore. Not the biggest haul ever, but it's definitely going to net you more than a few coupons and a good bit of resources. But let's keep rolling. Our next stash location is going to be inside the main portion, or the base of Rostok over here, and it will be Shaw's stash over here on the right, which will be up on top of a roof. You'll notice 3 cylinders over here, but we'll go from the starting point of the arena in the middle of the base itself, and then roll from there. But let's head over there now. Now, once you've made it into Rostok and you're just outside the arena, we'll just need to head over to our right towards these, not even sure what to call them, some type of silo over here. And we'll just be walking right past the left side of them. And then back here, there'll be a little ladder onto this roof over here. I swear, inside of Rostok, this is like the biggest frame dip I've ever had in my life every time I'm inside this city. But over here on our right, there'll be a bag on the ground that we'll be able to grab, and that's going to be the stash for Shaw, which is only going to be a UDP compact with a silencer. But we're right next to some benders, so you can end up just kind of throwing this one into the bender trash pile and getting some coupons from it. I was a little bit disappointed with this one. I was hoping for a little bit better, especially since the last Shaw stash spot we hit gave us that MP5 with a 40-round mag, so I was expecting a little bit more, but we'll keep rolling from here, and it just gets better and better from here when it comes down to the loot. We did all the low-quality stash spots first. Our next stash spot is going to be southwest of the actual base itself. We'll just need to head back out towards the entrance we came in, go along the road all the way down until we make it to this underpass over here, and there'll be a truck inside here where we'll need to grab up our next stash. But let's head over there now. And once you've made it over to the underpass, we've got more than a few of these flame anomalies / magma anomalies, so do be careful. We'll have one in front of us. Over here on our right, we will have a little stash that we can grab up, but this one's just going to be resources. The actual stash we're looking for is just going to be past this flame geyser over here and over at this green truck. Inside the front cab, we've got a tactical helmet on the ground as well as some ammo, and that's going to be the big item that we'll be grabbing up. It'll have an upgrade on it as well as some decent protection towards pretty much physical, psychic, radiation. Even the elementals are not that bad. You can't go wrong with picking this one up. It's not that heavy as well, and on top of that, it'll net you more than a few coupons if you're really not looking for any type of helmet, similar to what I've got right now, even though this will be going into the bank for possibly making some different type of build later on. Our next stash location is going to be northwest of that location, just past this helicopter up here. Just north of it, you'll notice we have something that's like a crane for moving some of these train carts or cargo onto these train carts. We'll need to head up on top of that, but let's head over there now. And once you've made it over to the location, all you'll need to do is just head to the eastern portion of the crane and head up on this ladder on the left side. This is going to be the quickest route in order to get to the loot itself. But once we get up here, there will be a hole we'll need to jump over, so do make sure that you have some stamina. I've definitely died a few times trying to make this jump, and it's very irritating. But do keep it in mind. Don't jump too far, as we do have an electrical anomaly on the other side. But inside here, we've got the SEVA V-suit armor, as well as some resources over here on the left, which we'll pick up real quick. But let's head up over here and start talking about that SEVA suit. Now, this armor is going to be 100% a full-on upgrade for a lot of people, unless you've already got the exoskeleton suit. This one has already 4 artifact slots, which you can upgrade to 5, having the maximum slots for any one of those artifacts. This is one of those suits of armor that is probably going to be like an in-game armor once you've upgraded it. Not only is it way less than the corundum suit that I have on right now, but even if it doesn't have the same level of physical protection, we literally just need 1 artifact to get the same physical protection as that suit of armor, if not even more than it. And on top of that, with the elemental resistances, the radiation, the psi protection, and then having 4 other slots for any type of artifact that could further maximize any one of our protections or benefits with our character, you can't go wrong with this suit of armor, and it is going to be probably one of the S tier armors you can find inside of the game right now. I'll be upgrading this one and transitioning to this suit pretty soon, and I would highly suggest some of you get on the same boat, as this will help you in the future when it comes down to survivability and your capabilities of improving your character overall. Our next stash spot is going to be northwest of this location, outside the city, over here at the underpass exit. You'll notice off of this road we've got a little blue car and something of an entrance going into the ground over here. That's our next location, and there will be some armored enemies in here, so bring some ammunition, possibly armor piercing on at least 1 weapon, as well as some healing products, as it'll be a bit of a firefight going in, but not too troublesome. But the reward after is going to be well worth it. But let's head over there now. And once you've made it over to the location, we'll just head into the underpass. We'll have a little tank on our left side. And we'll need to go in a bit before we start seeing some of the enemies, but once we pass this cargo crate over here that's a bit of an entrance for us, we will start to have some enemies on the inside. I can't really see it right now, but once we get in here, oh, looks like we've got some rats to deal with instead of mercenaries. This is different. Hold on, let's take these out. Last time I was in here, it was a bunch of mercenaries. I wonder if it's just different every single time. We may end up having a bit of an easier time getting in here. That is quite a wild difference, to be honest. That makes things a whole lot easier. So I guess sometimes it may be a bit more difficult for you, other times it'll be easier. But from this point, we'll need to head over here, and then before we head into this doorway over here, we'll need to head over to the right. And then we'll be able to turn on the power over here, which is going to open up the door to the loot that we really need. Now, there could be a couple of resources over here if you want to grab those up real quick. But from this point, we'll head back over to that doorway, head up the staircase inside of here. We'll find our way onto the loot. And once we head up to the top, we'll head through the right. Over here on our right, the door that we opened with the power. And once inside, over on our right side, we'll have the Glutton, which is going to be a unique LMG weapon. I am so happy to have this. But on top of that as well, we also will get the ARAMID lining for the Mask 1 helmet, giving us a bit more of that protection from shrapnel and bullets when we upgrade it. But I'm loving this Glutton. I haven't even tried it yet. I've got plenty of that 7.62 ammo that I'm about to start unleashing. I'm going to upgrade this thing. And I'm going to go to town on some of those bloodsuckers and a whole heap of ward soldiers in the future. When I infiltrate one of their bases, I am going to be cutting them down with this thing, and I cannot wait to play with it. But I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this one. It's going to be a good time. I mean, who doesn't have fun with an LMG? It may be a little bit heavy, but oh man, it's going to be cutting them down. And when it comes down to exiting the place, we'll just need to head over here onto the right, and there'll be a ladder that we'll be able to actually get out from, and it'll just be over here. Pretty easy peasy. Find yourself in a tunnel, and then kind of crawl through pretty slowly, but you'll see the light, and we'll be back out into the world ready for our next stash spot. Our next stash location is going to be northeast of this location over here at this little SAM site underneath this tunnel. We'll need to head over to the right side, as this is how we'll be able to get into the inside of this. And do be careful, we will have one of those Master Yoda mutant type enemies that will float weapons up and shoot at you and have a shielding, so do be prepared for that. Have some weaponry. If you've got some expansive ammunition type, that one's going to be the best in slot to be able to take down this guy as quickly as possible. But just be prepared to have some healing products and deal with this little irritating mutant. But let's head over there now. Now once you've made it over to the location, we'll need to head into the door on our right, and before we'll be able to access the inside and face off with Master Yoda in there, we'll need to take this door over here on our left, head up on top of this ladder over here, and do be careful, there was a grenade trap back there that I completely forgot about, but you can hear Master Yoda on the other side. Over here there's another grenade trap. We'll just disarm that really quickly so we don't run into that later. But over here on the right we'll have a lever to turn on, and this is going to open up the door over there and give power to the inside of this bunker, I believe, giving us access to the Master Yoda location. Now from this point we'll head on in, and it turns out this thing's got a 500 round box mag on it. I thought it was just 250. This thing just keeps getting better and better, but we're about to test this out on Master Yoda and really showcase its power. He's got to be right here. Oh goodness, that's a good bit of recoil, but we should be fine. We'll wait till he's down on his shield, and then we'll just cut loose. Oh, he's coming around, trying to touch me again. Should be coming down. There it is. Oh, he does it again. Let's just heal up real quick. Should be getting ready. So let's make sure he doesn't steal the weapon, so I can actually get a full damage reading on this. Yeah, that melted him pretty quickly. Ugly. Now from that point we'll head into this room, and there's a good bit of resources, so you can collect some things down here, a couple of broken weapons, but you can gather the ammunition from that. But we'll head over to the right and for this staircase over here, and up top here we'll run all the way to the other end. And if you've been looking for the PDA for the private for the next actual stash spot we'll be hitting, the PDA will be right here. That'll give you a portion of the 6-digit code that we'll be giving you for the next stash spot or the safe at the next location. But just beyond that, over to our left is a stash bag over here, and this is going to be the real loot we'll be looking for, and it's going to be the high capacity GROM S14 magazine. I haven't used the GROM S14 personally, but for some of those people out there that may have already picked it up and may be enjoying it and upgrading it, this is going to benefit you in the long run. But from that point, if you want to exit, you'll just head over here to the left. There'll be a doorway back this way that we just opened up with that lever from before, and we'll be able to just head out through this way, get a few more resources, and then start heading towards our next stash location. And our next stash location is just northeast of this location over here. It's actually going to be on the southern end of this building over here, and we'll be heading towards the entrance right here to gain access to it, and it will be a safe with a 6-digit code, so we'll be giving that to you. But let's head over there now. And once you've made it over to the location, we'll just head on in, and from this point we'll head over to the left in order to access the actual safe. It'll be in this room over here, but we'll need to pull out that trusty bolt to pop some of these anomalies and make it over to that location. But over here you'll notice we're now at the safe itself, and we'll need to enter in the code, which is going to be 195726. Then we'll be able to grant the access inside, grab up the loot, and from in here we'll get the blueprint for the rubber coating for the RPM-74, which is going to give us the recoil control that we needed for our new LMG we just grabbed up. And you just can't go wrong with some of those moments where things just come together as a good plan. But it sounds like we've got more than a few dogs to deal with, so let's head on over to our next stash spot. Now our final stash spot is actually going to take us back to the garbage zone, but where we're going to go in order to gain access to this stash spot, and this is the only way we can get it. This is the only reason I never actually hit this stash spot back when I was in the garbage zone, because I had no idea you could get up on top of this thing. But over here at the southern portion of the Rostok base, you may have noticed there's like a floating orb or vortex over here, and we're going to jump into that thing. But we'll just need to head over from any direction. You can come from the inside of the city and jump over to it. But I'm just going to head towards the outside edge, as I know it's the easiest one. And just jump right into this thing. And you don't even need to get close to the edge. It'll just suck you in. But let's head over there now. As you can tell, the frames are dropping, but once you've made it over to the location, we'll be able to just walk straight forward. And before, I literally just came over to here and I was like, I wonder what happens. Then I jumped straight up and I just got sucked straight into this. And then immediately we're just pulled into that vortex. It seems like the game's gonna crash. Everything's just going wild. Audio's getting cut out. Who knows what's going on? And we find ourselves ending up at the top of this concrete structure over here in the garbage zone. But just inside of this crate over here, or this safe, we'll find the ARAMID lining for the Sphere M20 helmet, which is going to give us some of that protection from shrapnel and bullets. And that's going to be the last bit of the Rostok stash bots, or the best stash bots. It is a bit irritating that we'll have to run all the way back to Rostok from this point, but you can't go wrong with just grabbing up all those blueprints, as later on it could benefit you in the long run. But hopefully you've enjoyed this, hopefully this has helped you out, got you a few new unique items, especially that LMG. I can't wait to just cut down that ward base inside the chemical plant. With that weapon, I'm just going to be dumping every coupon I've got into that weapon and just cutting loose and having a good time, since I've been saving all that 7.62 ammo for it. But let me know down in the comments below how you're feeling about it, and if I missed anything inside of Rostok, please let me know down in the comments below. I'll pin some of those and highlight those comments and make sure that other people know about it, and then possibly just add that into another video later on if I've missed anything for some of those smaller details, if I haven't completely combed over everything, or if something just hasn't gotten unlocked from certain missions or progress throughout the game. But that being said, if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to see some of this content live, hit that link down in the description below. Follow me over at Twitch, and on that note, have a good one.